Look at you, honey buns. Recently, we saw Solana pump to the moon at the end of 2023. And then we had a bit of the overflow narrative in a coin called SEI. S-E-I. I want to call it soy, but that's reserved for Solana. Now, it's interesting because we're trying to learn market patterns and behaviors and the meme and the meta of crypto, what's going on right now. You see, back in 2021, friends, how people were making money at the end, the shotgun money, it wasn't just memes. What they were doing was they were thinking, oh my gosh, if Ethereum keeps going up in price, the gas fees are going to become expensive. If the gas fees become expensive, there's going to be a use case for all these other layer 1 chains. And that's exactly what happened. BNB chain popped. Phantom chain popped. Cardano popped. Everything popped. And it was all because Ethereum got so popular it became overloaded. But that was the meta back then. So yes, if you want to play that game again, you can, friends. Just to let you know, I've made many videos on this. Please keep your back straight. And please continue to have sharpened elbows. You got 100x's everywhere if you got into the ICOs and bottom dollar prices with many layer 1 chains. Phantom, I think I made like 100x on Phantom. There was Phantom, BNB chain. You know, BNB did like a 10,000x or 100,000x. Yeah, it destroyed Hex. It did an extra bar. I mean, you can even see it right here, right? I mean, this is like, what a coin. This is BNB, all right? See how Hex did a 10,000x? If it did another bar up, which is the yellow, see the yellow here? That's a 100,000x. So you can actually move it and just see it here, man. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, BNB, man. BNB was the wild one. So I had BNB. I just didn't have it from the ICO. You needed to get it in 2017. All these chains popped. Cardano did a 150x from the bottom. Remember, Cardano, ADA, its user base was 11,000 people in 2020. And then it went to 150,000 people. Roughly a 10x user base increase, which gave a 100x price increase. Metcalfe's law, 10x the user base, you square it, whatever your user base growth is, to get the price, roughly. So you see there's 100x's everywhere. Luna popped a lot. Luna did a 700x, friends. Wow. Okay, so you can see that layer 1 chains, because if you got that meta right, you killed it. And all because of Ethereum. But remember, this was a cycle 1 type of narrative. EVMs. Cycle 1. It was new. It was Ethereum becoming so expensive. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, a Uniswap trade is $150. This is unsustainable. Let's go see all these other chains and build on these other chains. Okay. We are now into a new era. PulseChain, for example, and there's other chains, friends. You have TIA, right? Molestia, TIA. You have SEI, S-E-I. You have these other coins coming out. Craptos, APT, PUI, SUI. They're all like trying to be cycle 1 coins, trying to relive that narrative. Okay, PulseChain's part of that. Now, here's the thing. One of them is going to be unicorn, but the rest, they'll still do pretty good, because if you go through all my videos, the third cycle's a curse. The first one, though, is a unicorn, but it's too hard to get on. But it is a like bread and butter approach for a framework. If you look at what narrative appeared in the previous cycle, and then you participate in new coins of that again. Now, you can participate in old coins that were around back then. You just got to be really careful, because I've already shown you the stats. Only 22% of coins in the top 100 broke their all-time high, which means you have a 4 in 5 chance of not breaking your all-time high. So you got to make sure you got a good low DCA. So when do these narratives actually appear, right? So here's the thing, friends. You don't see the EVM Ethereum expensive narrative here. It appeared all the way here, okay? As Ethereum got super expensive. That's when it appeared. It appears at the top. You know what also appeared here? Memes, gaming, NFT, metaverse, all these ones, friends. Memes, right? Gaming, NFT, metaverse, okay? You had DeFi. This was like DeFi 2.0, which is just a weird DeFi, okay? You had these all appearing at the very, very top. You had EVM, which is alt to Ethereum. These were all the big narratives that appeared at the top, right? So when we're looking at a new chain, for example, SEI starts to move. So what I'm doing is just helping you just move into the future and think about your bets. Now, obviously, I don't want to touch this because I can already show you just a quick chart. Look at this, just already popped. I'm like, see you later, I'm not touching it. The people who touch this stuff, friends, right, with or without consent, they are not family friendly. Very not family friendly. These people, they like leverage trades. Like, yeah, the total move is 12x, but they notice it after a 4x. Now there's a 3x left, and they're trying to like leverage trade it around. It's very dangerous. Sure, I can get away with it. I can make money off moves like that, but most of you can't. Most people don't. And what life-changing gains can you make on that? You can't. And you need a high probability, what if it goes wrong, etc., etc. So the most important part is we know Ethereum got super expensive in 2021. And if you just have any, like, you think 2 seconds about it, oh, sure, Ethereum is like really in demand. It's not going away. It's going to get expensive again. They're sharding, all right, which sounds like sharding. Yes, they haven't been able to do it for the main chain. So I'm updating you the story, what's going on along the storyline. This is really important, friends, to outline this thesis, because you need the conviction. If you don't have the conviction, you're going to sell the bottoms with everybody else. Now, Ethereum's sharding, it's starting on the layer 2s, which is basically its extensions, but you still need a bridge out for the main chain. And no one really cares about whether you're an Ethereum layer 2 or you're another layer 1. People are just there to seek the highest returns. We've seen this now, which basically means all my videos have been true. Thank you very much for liking and subscribing. Decentralization, it's mostly just a meme. People will obviously chase where they have the biggest financial incentives to exist. All right. So we're seeing, right, alternative Ethereum chains have a use case because Ethereum is so expensive. For example, there are going to be cities around America that are affordable to live, whilst New York is really expensive. It's literally the same thing. It's just that in crypto, we sell block space. All right. Now, moving on from that, you've seen that Ethereum is going to get expensive. These chains are going to become more expensive. And there's a lot of chains, man. There's a lot. There's 24 layer 2 Ethereum chains coming out this year. Oh, 24 extra ones. Imagine them with all their coins. They're all going to try to do an airdrop and try hand out stuff. And it's just going to be wild. Even if they do airdrops, they might wait at the very end because it's inside of VCs, friends. They're not going to just hand out free money. They need to convince people to buy the coins first. There's also all the existing layer 1 chains already. So if you just want to try to increase your probability of success and what you get, remember from the previous cycle, you got a rough, there was 100 X's in many places because it was a cycle 1 narrative. It was you thinking, okay, Ethereum's going to get expensive, really expensive. Now here's the thing, Ethereum got expensive in 2017, but there were no DEXs. Everybody was in high demand to use Uniswap, big demand, right? So people who got that right, binked it. Man, 100x everywhere. When you move into the cycle 2 of that narrative, we are not going to get 100x everywhere. In my experience, from what I saw in 2021, you probably get anywhere from 15 to 25x. So it's significantly lower. And you might say, well, that kind of sucks, but no, not really, because you have an advantage here. You can identify the narrative. In 2021, you couldn't because you had to see the vision first. You don't have any examples of this happening. You have to really believe in it. And there were some people who believed in it, right? They started doing it and, rare people, but they were able to do that. Now, when it comes to this, so friends, when I don't think I was a genius because I bought Phantom and made money on all these other layer 1 chains, I made 108x on Solana. It's just like, I'm just buying every coin, logos. You don't really know all these. It just so happened that they were the narratives that appeared. So another way to think about it, right? If you're in 2020 buying the coins of the layer 1 chains that go 100x, maybe back then they people put in $5,000. But now you might get 1/5 of the return. So you're gonna get 100x, maybe you get 20x now. But here's the thing. We can pick the coins. We can pick them. You can see, you have conviction. That's why when I speak about PulseChain, all the coins are unlocked. Yeah, if you wanted to, go buy Craptos, go buy PUI, SUI, go buy, Say, speak about here, that it did like this. That's right. So say did a 22% pump. This one I reported on it. Recently been pumping. There's an ecosystem of poop coins. Everyone's just launching poop everywhere. See a few go up, but most of them rug. They're the same meme factory scammers from the Ethereum chain when people bunny hop. And when the buying runs out from the Spear coin, which is say in this case, SEI, it's all rug city down. I guess they are trying to mimic the Solana ecosystem run. So here I am just showing like all the coins. See, every ecosystem's like this, friends. All the coins coming out here. This is just one random meme coin that pumped, like that dumped, right? All of them just go to zero. And this is just showing you the picture. So we have an advantage now. So that's why I'm just trying to help you, both of us, for us to win. We're making a strategy. We know that, all right, to prepare. That old version of us, in our old timeline, they only put $5,000 in their layer 1 chain. They did not know layer 1s were going to become that big as a big use case. But now you know the coins and you have the narrative that worked before. So that's why it's still big upside to get at 20x. That's still a lot. So you don't need to put in $5,000 this time. Now, obviously not financial advice. Please, it can literally, friends, I'm literally wearing a freaking cork hat on the internet. It can all go to zero tomorrow. But there are people who say, well, the old me would put $5,000 back then. But the new me now has seen it happen before. I can put 25,000 in. You end up with the same amount. You end up with 500K. So what you've done is you reverse engineered. You go, well, we're going to move less on the upside now. So I'm just going to increase my bet size 5x. Because what you've done is you've raised your probability of success. You've done a concentrated bet to do that. And this, in a nutshell, this is what many people are doing. And that's why you're going to be very disappointed if you think you're going to get like a 100x in an older narrative. You're not going to get that. It catches everybody off guard. That's why they go up so much. So in a nutshell, am I saying PulseChain and PulseX are limited on the upside? Compared to 2020, sure. And it doesn't take a genius to figure out. The valuation is much higher. But there's still advantages there, right? So you can, for example, if you're doing leverage meme coin plays or leverage plays, Icosa, you're even buying Cold DAO. I don't care if you're buying Zen and the Zen ecosystem develops later on, or you want to buy Tangang HOA, or you want to buy a Tropa, PDI ecosystem, whatever it is, all right? There's more to come, lottery tickets. If any of them pop, you might say, well, you know what? I'm going to stack my core altcoin bag. You know, friends, back in 2020, as the bull market started happening at the end of 2020 and into 2021, no one knew to go like, well, I'm going to stack Solana all year. No one did that in 2020 because Solana was just like a up and down thing, just went nowhere. Imagine how much money you would have made if you believed in Solana in 2020 and DeFi season happens and people made like 10x's everywhere and you were just stacking a Solana bag. But nobody did that. Why? It's because Solana back then was with BNB and Phantom and Cardano and Ethereum had all the developers, it still has, and all these other chains. You're like, I've got no idea if Solana's going to be the real one. So you see how tough it is to pick the actual unicorn winner. But if there's a strong community, that's what I'm talking about. Like PulseChain, we have the stats, man. 68 streamers, 140 content creators, 14,000 daily active users. Can we see a 10x user base growth on that on daily active users? Yes, I can see it in my mind. Okay, that's 100x price increase. It doesn't need to happen, but you just got to, can you see it happen, right? That gives you the conviction to keep stacking that bag, and that gives you more moonshot potential. It's leverage. It's dangerous on the downside, but the leverage on the upside compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is ultimately what we're all trying to beat here. So I hope this is fleshed out for you and so what's going on. Now, you know, many people will play different parts of the narratives. You don't have to play the layer one chain with a big bulk of your portfolio. It's just that, for example, I like it. Why? I can see everybody joining. I can see everybody building applications. I can see the DEXs. I can see PulseX buy and burn, right? And there's no VC secret unlocks. Like all these other coins, say, for example, SEI, the one I just showed you, 20% of the coins are out. And they're releasing coins in August of this year. Guess what they're going to do? Dump on everybody. Centralized exchange listings, okay? I don't like that. So you get a better perspective as to what's going on now. So, you know, yeah, it's not the fresh cycle one narrative, but you're still blessed. because like a hunter, your bow and arrow, you can actually like hone in on this. You're like, well, out of all the possibilities, the fact that I can kind of identify there's a higher probability of success here, this gives me a significant competitive advantage. And of course, you want to come back, to the ultimate question, what's going to be the cycle one narrative? Well, we don't know. Some people believe in gaming again. That's why gaming has resurged again. There's gaming, there's launch pads, there's metaverse, there's NFTs, there's the meme coins. I know this, just know, we're not going to see the same returns we saw from the previous cycle. But that's on average. There are going to be big returns. And it's probably going to be in the new coins. For example, new meme coins. New ones. I mean, you've already seen some meme coins on PulseChain do 100x because they started off so low. Pepe did 340,000x. You see these new stuff? They're the ones with big potential, but there's higher risk. So if you look at the whole ecosystem or the whole sector, the returns on average are going to blow. They're going to suck. So yes, let's say the year is now 2026 and we look back at the bull market, let's say it's another 4-year cycle, we're probably going to find that somebody who allocated evenly to every layer one chain, they got sucky returns. Maybe on average, it got anywhere from a 5 to a 20x if you're lucky. Maybe it ends up being just like a 10x, right? On average, which is very, very low, like from the bottom to the top. Maybe the average person only gets 5. That's what we might find. However, we might then find, okay, there are certain winners of the sector that killed it. And, you're looking for those elements. We don't have all the answers to them, but this is why we're trying to find things like a cult, contrarian. They need to be deeply oversold. What potential is there to onboard more people? These are the things, unfortunately, most of it is just down due to luck. So there's a lot of sectors and a lot of coins going on, but you can see a theme, right? The highest returns come from new coins. So obviously, your number one priority in crypto is if you can find a new coin in a new narrative. That is the trophy. That is the ultra moonshot. If you can't do that, and remember, new narratives, friends, they don't exist yet. What's going to be the new narrative? We don't know yet. You're guessing, okay? But the next best thing you can do is to find a new coin from a cycle 2 narrative. Just one narrative before. Usually, they pop off again. Why? It's because people, they've seen it work once. And so when they see it starting to work again, more people jump on train again because they have memories of the past. The third cycle, though, sucks, as I mentioned before. So that is the actual holy grail. I've given you 2 holy grails. My job for the past 2 years is literally to prepare you and me to get cycle 1 coins, if you can, from cycle 2 narratives. Or super strong cycle 2 narratives, trying to find the winning coins. But you can't go older than that. When you do, you get to see, friends, I can spend the whole video just showing you the letdowns of things like privacy coins and other ancient narratives now. Other things like Bitcoin, for example, that try to do store of value, and other things that just never, they're done and dusted now. XRP, for example, is a payment solution coin. That's another narrative that's now dusted. If you notice now, it's slowed down big time. Okay, so you've opened your mind now. Hopefully, there's just luck. We get to find the next cycle 1 narrative, and we can see it developing because there are people in Ethereum land, Ethereum maxis, who were able to see that DeFi was possible back in 2018 and 2019, and they were able to bink it by buying them in 2020. Now, traditionally, the biggest narrative explosions for these cycle 1 narratives appear in a Bitcoin halvening year. We are literally in a Bitcoin halvening year right now. If you go to all the sectors, though, there's too many. There's AI. There's all these random stuff, friends. AI, real-world assets. There's people guessing so many things. Friend tech, social finance. We have different ideas. We just don't know yet. We just pray that while we are just plodding along and holding along, that someone invents something that really makes retailers' imagination go wild. I'll be reporting it to you every step of the way. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button all. Tell mum and dad we do love and appreciate it. I am wearing a core cat. Catch you soon.